I don't know how I'm going to do any of this at all. And I just was so afraid of it. And the producing side of it, there's this thing that happens where actors are often attached as producers or executive producers to something. And you always wonder, did they really do that thing? Mm-hmm. I'm not such a person. No. If I'm taking a credit from a producer who has trained and has learnt that job, if I'm taking a credit alongside that person, you damn well better know what you're doing. So I'd never accepted a credit like that in the past because it just isn't right, And actually now there is a little bit of a movement. Career producers are starting to have a conversation around just making sure there are some sort of systems in place to make sure that people really are earning that credit, which I do have to say I think is really right.
Yeah.
Especially if there's a fee involved and that fee is something that could have ended up on the screen. And I'm all about making sure the money's on the screen first and foremost. So I would never have done it before that moment because I wouldn't have known how to do that job. It is a different job. Actually, I really loved it. And I loved it because it was so good for the actors because they always felt that they had a person. Mm. So if ever there were any issues, of which I have to say there weren't many, but we did have a change of director on that show, and that was a big upheaval for everybody. And bringing Craig Zobel, our second director, who was really our director because he was on it for most of it with the exception of the first 9 weeks. Actually, not 9 weeks, first 6 weeks. Integrating him was almost 50% my responsibility. Because it happened over the Christmas hiatus. He had so much catch up to do. So he actually needed a lot of support and looking after. And what I mean by that is not just holding hands, but really actively sharing with him, okay, this is how Julianne works, this is the thing, and this is a blah, blah, blah. And this is what you'll be able to predict when there's a scene that's long in that capacity with that particular character. They might struggle with that thing. And so what I would suggest, and helping to shape a space that was conducive to the best possible work for everybody, but with him as the leader. So I loved it, and I learned a huge amount.